Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting race in the SpeedGaming Live 2021 Super Metroid Randomizer tournament. I am your host. I am Zeb316, and today I will be commentating a race between Nevdi and Osse. This is a quarterfinal race, and it should be a good one. Osse is the number 1 seed in this tournament, and Nevdi is the number 8 seed. So, with Area Rando, this randomizer is Area Boss Rando. Area Boss Major Minor. So, major items will be at major item locations, and minor items will be at minor item locations, like in any other major minor rando. But all of the transitions will be mixed up. So, for example, to the left of Morph Ball, there's a transition that leads to Green Brinstar. That transition most likely will not lead to Green Brinstar. It might lead to Lower Norfair, it might need to lead to Meridia, it might lead to Red Tower, um, it might also lead to Green Brinstar, but it could be anything. Um, so, yeah, these runners will have to try to keep track of all of the different transitions that they come across, as well as there's boss randomization on. So that means when they enter a boss room, it's also not necessarily going to be the boss that they expect. And actually, all of the bosses cannot be vanilla. Um, so at least two of the bosses will have to be switched around. And it looks like our first item is bombs. That's a pretty interesting first item to get. Um, yeah, like it helps with not getting soft locked. If they have very few power bombs early, it can help with infinite bomb jumping too. Um, Not super useful outside of that. I guess it can help for crystal flash clipping, but other than that, I guess it also helps early before they get power bombs. There are some minor items that they can check, or they can go through bomb gauntlet. And there are power bombs. So this is the first kind of interesting decision that the runners will have, whether to check behind Morph Ball. I expect both of them will. Generally, checking this portal is good because there's never going to be another time that is actually good to check it. You might stumble across it, but you'll never have another good time to actually be able to check it. And just the missile is the minor. Another thing to note is that these runners have all of their minors at this point, so they don't need to worry about potentially needing to find them later. And we have Rex Ship. Oh, that is an interesting one. Nevdi debating for a while, deciding that he does want to go in and check the boss. And Osse at least checking this minor. We'll see if he decides to go into Rex Ship to check the boss too. So remember, this isn't necessarily Fantoon. If it's not Fantoon, and if it's not Kraid, then that means it has to be Dragon or Ridley. And these runners won't be able to kill the boss, so they'll lose a good amount of time. And that's also the reason they're saving. With this boss randomization on, that Rex Ship save station is turned on, even without having killed the boss. Just another missile at Spooky Missiles. Osse also taking the save. I think I'm really curious what the runners will decide to do if this is Fantoon. How much of Rex Ship do they want to clear? And if it's Kraid, I don't think they'll be able to do the quick kill. Yeah, I think that it is not, though. It is Ridley. So both runners will have to reset. Nevdi a little bit ahead because he didn't pick up the ocean miner. But Osse won't be too far behind, and they're both just gonna have to head back up the climb. And Osse also finding this. And this is what I like to do actually, what Osse did, just taking death instead of resetting. At least for me, resetting my console is a little bit slower, I think, than just taking the death and hitting, "Yes, I would like to continue." Nevdi trying to conserve a power bomb, but taking a hit from the side hopper. I think that this means that Nevdi is not planning on ship refilling if he is using bombs there. Because if you were planning on ship refilling, you'd just use a power bomb and then refill up the ship to get all of your power bombs back. Um, but this tells me that Nevdi is going to check bomb chorizo and then go straight left, I think. That means also, if that's what he's thinking, then that he's not going to go to Gauntlet, I would expect. And another power bomb. Now I kind of think that he's pretty likely to go to Gauntlet. We'll see though. With 10 power bombs, Gauntlet is not too bad. Osse also took a hit from the side hopper. He had even less health than Nevdi. He had 4 health after that. Osse, I would definitely expect to go back to the ship. That looks like what he was playing the whole time. So Nevdi making his way up Parlor, will be making his way into the Bomb Chorizo room shortly. See what's here. And it is Phaser. And because we already have bombs, this Bomb Chorizo fight will happen. It's very exciting. It will be 2 missiles and a super to kill Bomb Chorizo in the fastest way possible. And Nevdi does it. And Osse will be picking up his space burst. So Spazer doesn't do too much. Oh, and Nevdi will not be checking Gauntlet, interesting. Might be trying to make up some time. He might see himself as the underdog in this matchup and want to kind of stay away from time sinks, such as Gauntlet. But we'll have to see. I expect that Osse will probably do Gauntlet, though. Yeah, it looks like he's going back to the ship, at least. And that's the top of Red Tower for Nevdi. That's a good portal to find. It'll give him access to a lot of portals in a little bit. And this portal is Lower Norfair. Okay, that's also a good one to know about. It won't be useful for quite a while, though. So Osse starting his way through Gauntlet should have no issues with this. With 10 power bombs, Gauntlet. For a runner Osse's caliber, who, as I say that, he falls in the acid. I'm just gonna stop talking enough. Gauntlet, and let's focus on Nevdi a little bit. Gauntlet just being an E-tank. Oh, and Nevdi finds Green Prince Star. So, Gauntlet still could potentially be worth it if that E-tank is required, or if there are, like, supers at the back of Gauntlet, and this is a seed where those supers are really important. But at this point, I think that Nevdi has a bit of a lead because the backup gauntlet was just, or because gauntlet was just a E-tank. There's X-Ray. Osse making a little bit of a dangerous play. It's not like particularly dangerous because it doesn't matter if he misses a minor, but destroyed all of the blocks before jumping on the middle block. Getting 2 power bombs, I'm not sure how useful those will be, especially given that Nevdi found another power bomb at Brinstar Reserve. That'll put Osse if he wants to get it. Oh, and this one too. Now, all of these will put Osse at 30, which I think is a little bit higher than you normally want. Even if you want to do suit with Born Warfare kind of stuff, or Born Warfare without area suit, you normally kind of want to get like 25-ish at most, sometimes 20. 30 isn't too bad though. Osse making these same checks that Nevdi did, and Nevdi heading down Green Brinstar. Heading to Etiquettes. I expect we'll see Osse do the same thing as Nevdi. When you find Green Brinstar, it is one of the best places to find early. I wonder if Nevdi will pick up that second reserve tank. Anyway, Osse on his way down the Red Brinstar elevator. We'll be checking this and likely continuing. And Nevdi does pick up the second reserve. I kind of like picking that up, just in case of Suicide Warfare shenanigans that you want to do later. Having 2 reserves can be helpful for that. Osse will be following in Nevdi's footsteps, checking Brinstar Reserve and then Eticoons, and then coming over here where Nevdi is, into Big Pink to check all of this too. Nevdi laying the power bomb in a spot where it will destroy the door. And a super missile at Mission Impossible Missiles. If I were Nevdi, I would pick up 1 more energy drop. Doesn't really matter what it is, even if it's just a small energy. Because the giant side hopper actually does 80 damage. But this is an E-tank, so he doesn't really need to worry about it anymore. I kind of like coming down here and checking this first in case it's an E-tank like this, so you don't have to worry about your health too much. Another super packet charge missiles, so Nevdi already at 20. I think Osse, if he checks this door, which it looks like he's going to, will also get up to 20. More than likely. Looks like Nevdi has gotten the gate glitch. And is rewarded with screw attack. Oh, and Osse almost fell down. It's not the end of the world falling down. I think it loses approximately 40... No, 40 is way too much. I don't know how much time it loses, but it would lose some time. And you would just get a minor check out of the deal, so not worth it to fall down there. Nevdi will be checking this door. We'll see what it is. It is Norfair, okay. So that being Norfair is decent for Osse because he has an extra E-tank on Nevdi, which could be a big deal. Nevdi does have a Crystal Flash available. That's important to note. Although I don't think he has much in his reserve right now. I would guess he has like maybe like somewhere less than 15 in this reserve, I had to guess. And oh, the bottom of Red Tower, that's a really good find too. Um, Nevdi not checking that transition. Interesting. Oh, Osse, he was at 84 energy, so he wasn't in too much danger, but that was a little bit dangerous for him. Um, I don't really like not checking the portals here from Nevdi. I get that you want to check these anyway, but I think that you just check the portals and then come check here. You eat a little bit of time loss to be able to do that. But Nevdi does find gravity. So he will likely be breaking the tube and checking that entrance, and then checking the other entrance. Trying to do the gravity jump, but he already has gravity, so it doesn't work. Osse also finds the Norfair. And it's Croc. That is interesting. I kind of like this from Nevdi, deciding not to do Croc at this point. I think there's a lot that is still out there. And Croc's pretty slow, especially with no movement items, and it would be difficult to check. It would be difficult to check the E-Tank item. You would have to check the other item first, and then probably farm up some. We'll see where Nevdi wants to go from here, though. Looks like he's heading left. I kind of like this. I think if you were heading right, the only place that you would want to go would be Norfair. Like, there's nothing else you would want over there. I'm curious to see if Nevdi decides to do damage boost, extra damage boost. Has a okay backup with bombs, but with gravity, gravity doesn't actually protect from environmental damage, which is what the spikes are. So because of that, it would still be a very dangerous extra AD boost. And there's Norfair. That's the good Norfair entrance too, one of the ones that leads to ice and high jump. And there's the other lower Norfair entrance. So that's interesting. I don't think Nevdi has enough to check ice. If he had one more power bomb, he could at least Crystal Flash if he ran out of energy. Or one more missile. 2 more missiles, I guess. But and it looks like he's taking a save and will be checking ice. I think that's a high jump. I think that because he won't have enough energy to get out, I would just check high jump first. But if this is an E-Tank or Varia, and then high jump is an E-Tank, and this because then he would get the refill after doing the tech run instead of before. He does get a missile drop. That means that, yeah, he can keep this. He's gonna want to empty his reserve, and then basically just Crystal Flash. Nevdi, you need to Crystal Flash. Oh wait, yeah, how much energy? Yeah, that's not enough. Is it? Is it? Oh, it is! It is! Wow! And Nevdi makes it out. That's crazy. I wonder if he didn't know that he had Crystal Flash, because I think if he did know that, he would not have taken that chance. That was very risky. Having to lose all that time, especially for such an important item or good item as high jump boots. Yeah, I think that I would have just Crystal Flashed there if I had remembered. And at high jump, we have Plasma Beam. So that's nice, that'll supersede this laser, but it doesn't do too much yet, especially without Charge Beam. And at Croc is an E-Tank. I did not see if Osse checked Croc E-Tank. I don't think he did. I think he's gonna check it on the way out, which I can't blame him for if he doesn't have a lot of energy in those reserves. That still does a lot of damage, the acid does on the way there. I might have just missed, Osse checking it, though. And Nevdi coming back up. Norfair. Heading back into Red Tower, and we'll be heading up. So he's gonna head back to, this was Criteria. And we'll see what he does in Criteria. Might decide to, check Gauntlet, now that he has Screw Attack, it's a bit faster. And yep, Osse is coming over here to check this, and it's just another E-Tank. So it's interesting, if Varia is found relatively quickly, all of these E-Tanks will basically be worthless for Osse. But if Varia is really buried, then Osse will be very glad to have all these E-Tanks, and will probably do a Lore Norfer without Varia suit. So I think what Nevdi is hoping for is that Varia is somewhat accessible, relatively easily, and Osse really wants it not to be. It looks like Osse, I'm guessing Osse is planning to do X-Ray deboost, although his stream is cutting out for a little bit. Has a backup with bombs, so if he messes it up, he has a way. Yeah. It looks like that's what he's doing. Looks like he messed it up at first. Looks like he got the first part of the setup at least, for this time. Oh, and Nevdi almost taking... Oh, and he messed up the end. Should be fine. Has bombs as a backup. And Nevdi getting that E-Tank. Oh, and Osse trying to use a power bomb. You can use a power bomb in the same kind of way that you would use your regular bombs. And oh no, Osse. Okay, he's got full reserves, so might still be fine. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, he can Crystal Flash. Really smart move from Osse. Really heads up play. I wouldn't have thought of that probably there. But yeah, Crystal Flashing there is very smart. Luckily, having an energy amount that lets him do that. Meanwhile, Nevdi finds Meridia. West Meridia. The tube entrance. And what's that X-Ray? So it is Charge Beam. Okay, that is huge. So Osse finding Charge Beam, especially once he gets that Plasma Beam, if he does. And Nevdi not picking up that E-Tank. I would have really thought about picking that up. Maybe he's just hoping that tech runs aren't necessary. I can't blame him against a runner like Osse. Osse is definitely one of the top RBO runners, and someone who I would not want to face in a seed where we were both forced to do tech runs. So I can't blame Nevdi for trying to basically not play into his opponent's strengths, if that's what he's thinking. So that's a pretty good portal for Nevdi to find. Um, because he didn't pick up that E-tank, I guess he does have 4 total tanks. Um, he's got 2 E-tanks and 2 reserves, and he has a Crystal Flash available. So he could check that, but it would be slow right now. And he would rather try to find somewhere that he can check that isn't slow. Also, any, boss area that he finds, there's Torian. Torian's good to know about, but not useful yet. Any boss area that Nevdi or Osse find, they know that they can kill any boss there. Because they've already seen Ridley at Wreck Ship, they know that they can kill any other boss, so they won't need to take a save before a boss. And Nevdi heading back. I don't remember if we saw, Crab Pocket yet. I don't think that we have. So he's missing that entrance, but if you were to check that, then he would be missing this entrance. So I don't think it's, too bad of a decision to check either one. I think that they're both about the same distance apart. Nevdi, you have high jump and gravity. Come on, man. And it looks like Osse will be picking up his Plasmody. And there's Kraid. So I think that right now the biggest... I think Osse has a huge advantage with that charge. Nevdi is still quite a ways off of go mode on ammo. He needs the equivalent of 7 supers more. Meanwhile, Osse, with that charged plasma, plus the X-ray beam, or X-ray scope, will let him take out bosses such as Dragon and Phantoon without too much trouble. And it's Dragon, so I think best case scenario there for Nevdi would have been a Kraid, but I think it's also kind of hard to say. And Osse is heading through to Norfair. This is also an interesting play. Means that there will be a lot of divergence for a while. Osse trying to get through without a Crystal Flash, and makes it with 10 energy. Nicely done by Osse. And then takes the Crystal Flash afterwards. So this will be really big. Depending on what's at these 3 items, yeah, this is going to be really big for this race. And at Dragon, we have an E-Tank. And another E-Tank at North Reserve. So, everything coming up E so far. Another thing to note, with Dragon being there, there's no need for Ice or Speed, or to fight Botboon in this speed. The runners can just kind of go through the back door of East Meridia to get to the boss, and never have to worry about Botboon. And never have to worry about Botboon Hallway either, which is where Ice or Speed is normally required, or Crystal Flash equipping if you are into that. So now Osse will be checking speed. And it is Wave Beam, so that's a good item, but not exactly what Osse is looking for. We'll see where Nevdi decides to go next. I think the answer is in Norfair. It might not necessarily be, or oh yeah, it could be this transition too. I was thinking it wouldn't necessarily be at Wave Beam, but it could be one of the portals leading to East Meridia. Honestly, not on a lot of health, and doesn't have a Crystal Flash available. And it looks like that is East Meridia. And that's actually the good entrance, because he's already killed Dragon. So this will take him right to the next boss. And again, because he knows it's not Ridley, he can just go straight into it. Doesn't have to worry about it. Osse checking this transition. He won't be able to get back if it's something like if it's something bad, but I don't think there's anything bad left. Oh yeah, that's right, it's this. I forgot that we'd already seen it. And yeah, Nevdi can check, Plasma. Never gonna be a better time to check Plasma than now, so Nevdi taking his opportunity. And at this point, I think that, yeah, Nevdi is just, like, straying from what Osse is doing so much. Um, and there's Grapple Beam, interesting. Could that mean Shack Tool? Maybe. Nevdi jumping a little bit too high on this. Osse heading up to the top right portal here. And finds Historian. Meanwhile, Nevdi heading back down will be going to fight the boss shortly. So, I think Grapple Beam was actually a really nice item for Nevdi to find, because if he ever wants to go back to, Red Tower, that gives him an easy access to X-Ray, which would be huge right now, because that's Charge Beam. Oh, nice bomb jump from Osse. Pick up that E-Tank. Pretty tough tricks to do. Nevdi gonna check the boss before the miner. I think that the reasoning behind this is in case the boss has Charge Beam, then he can skip the miner. It's also important to note that right now, Charge is even more important than it otherwise would be because of no speed erase. That means that there's no way to Zeb skip yet. And just an E-Tank at trade. With no way to Zeb skip, that means that if you don't have Charge Beam, then you need enough ammo to either kill all of the Zebs and kill Mother Brain, or you need to go refill between them. Gonna be picking up this missile, and Osse picking up the super. That's interesting. I think the reason for that is Ridley. A lot of times you want, well, there are, I guess, a couple of reasons to pick up the super there. You want 30 supers if you're gonna do Suitless Ridley most of the time, because 30 supers is just so much easier than any other method of killing Ridley. So getting up to 30 makes sense. Also, it could be for Suitless Lorn Warfare. It gives him a good number of Crystal Flashes. lets him use 3 Crystal Flashes. And there is Ice Beam. Okay, that's a big find for Nevdi. Yeah, that will let him Zeb skip, will make Torian much faster. Ice Beam is just a good beam. Forgot what I was thinking. Anyway, Osse takes down Dragon. Will be rewarded with that E-Tank. One thing to note, Nevdi taking a save, I wonder if he's going all the way to Shack Tool. Or if he'll just check left sandpit. The save is a lot less necessary when you're checking left sandpit in this version because it, uh-oh, Nevdi. Oh, not getting trolled by the snail. To the left of the bottom of left sandpit, you can enter a door that transports you back, basically, to Aqueduct. And there's Spring Ball and Supers. And Nevdi does reset that, so he's not going to check Tool. Osse is heading out of Kraid's lair. Nevdi will be checking this transition. Where does this one go? I think Norfair? Yeah. Yep, Norfair. I think Nevdi might want... I think this is fine. Oh, is he gonna go check Kraid E-Tank? Or is he going back down? Yeah, he's going back down to check the Norfair items. We'll see if he actually does check the Norfair items. I wonder how he's feeling. Yeah, okay. It looks like he will. So from his perspective, he doesn't know whether Osse has checked these or not. And if he thinks that Osse checked these early, he might actually try to avoid them to try to make up time on Osse and figure, well, if they're good, then I've already lost anyway. Or like if it's Varia. But he doesn't know for sure. And Osse will be going into Lore Norfair. I like this from Osse a lot. 6 D-Tanks, I believe 2 reserves, 30, 30, 30. And knowing that Fantoon is on the other end, I think that that is a pretty safe Lore Norfair for Osse. Especially with Screw Attack and High Jump. He will be checking Fire Fleas for an E-Tank. And he gets it. At this point, I think that it's hard to say that Osse isn't ahead. Osse's going to be finishing this boss a lot sooner than Nevdi will be. Osse already has Charge Beam, and we don't know whether Nevdi's going to get that. I wonder what kind of loadout Nevdi would need for him to feel comfortable with doing Suicide War Norfair. Nevdi finds that Wave Beam. And I believe the wave was just an E-tank. Nevdi just gonna Crystal Flash here. I don't blame him. Playing it really safe. It would have been pretty tight whether or not he would have made it back to the speed farmway. And Osse enters what normally would be Ridley's lair, and is greeted by Fantoon, as expected. Well, it had to be, so. See where Nevdi decides to go after this wave beam. I think best case scenario for Nevdi would be like somehow getting to Red Tower. Oh wait, this is speed? Oh, Osse didn't check that. Wow. I didn't realize Osse didn't check that. That is huge. And Nevdi will be taking another Crystal Flash here. I'm not sure about going in the store if you're going to do that. Yeah, there are a lot of enemies in this room that deal damage. Osse also needed to be a little bit careful there. One spike hit and I think he was dead. But he gives his Crystal Flash off, no problem. Meanwhile, Nevdi is headed back into Meridia. West Meridia. If Nevdi can find Varia pretty quickly and charge, I think he can be ahead. But I think it's a tall order at this point. I think maybe it would need to be literally at like Red Tower and Great Eating. And he will be checking Great Eating. But I don't think he's going to get the charge beam then. If this is Varia, I just don't think he's going to find it. And it's just a trash tank. And Nevdi not picking it up. Meanwhile, Osse just got out of Lord Arthur. So I think at this point, Varian might have to be a check tool. I'm not positive on that. With 5 E-tanks and 2 reserves, I don't think that Nevdi really has what is necessary for Lord Arthur yet. He could kill Ridley, but Ridley won't have Varia behind it. And he knows at this point, the wreck ship can't have Varia either. Because he knows Fantoon is at Lord Arthur. It looks like he's going for the Lord Arthur play. I think that if he was going to do this, I think he should have hit the cursor. He will get an E-tank at higher phase. That will help a lot. I think the problem is Osse is already so close to being done. Like, Meridia is a bit off the way, but so is this, wreck ship. And getting to do that just doing that right now is a huge deal for Osse. Yep, Nevdi picking up his E-tank. Osse shouldn't need to check anything else. Nevdi stream freezing a little bit. Oh, he will be checking this. Interesting. So, Osse is still looking for ice or speed, I think. I'm not really sure it's worth it to check these, though, for that. Because you... And I'm sure Osse knows that he has a way through Meridia. I don't really like the right super check. I think it's pretty slow. Like, both of those items save a lot of time, but just don't think it's quite worth it. I think he was on good health, too, so it wasn't for a refill. I could be wrong about that, though. If he was on low health, I think that checking that for an E-tank makes a lot of sense. He'll be frozen. Hopefully he's doing well. And given that Osse checked that item, I expect that we'll see him check the E-tank as well. That looks like we got Nevdi back. We'll be heading into the boss shortly. Looks like he did one Crystal Flash, given that he's at 11 power bombs. And Space Jump at Ridley. Is an okay item for Osse, actually, because he doesn't have speed. Nevdi getting... I think that was like 3 in on that air Doppler. Osse exiting wreck ship. And Nevdi will be finishing Pantheon fast. So now both of them have one boss remaining. But the big difference, as it's been the whole race, Osse has charged, Nevdi doesn't. Even without that advantage, I think that Osse might still be ahead. No, he wouldn't because of speed and ice. But because he has charged, that just is so important. So much more important than anything else, pretty much. Nevdi still needs to find 4 more super packs for the equivalent of that. And probably 5 if he wants to be comfortable. Opting not to lay a power bomb there, I like that, serving it for the Crystal Flash. Yeah, I really like the way Nevdi played this race. I think it would have worked out if charge were almost anywhere other than X-ray. Given Nevdi ended up going to Norfair, um, getting charge a little bit later would not have been too bad for him. Nevdi regretting picking up that spring, or regretting not picking up spring ball there, as he couldn't jump in the ball, as he tried to while he was taking heat damage. And Osse is well on his way into Meridia. And Nevdi just kind of needs to get out of here as quickly as he can before his health drains. And he is out. Nicely done, Nevdi. The farming can go for a little bit of health. I think that you just want a ship refill here if you're before going into wreck ship. But Nevdi won't be ship refilling, huh? I wonder. Okay, I think he's gonna check right side super and find that E-tank and be okay. I think that's his plan. But if it weren't a super, if it weren't a E-tank, then his plan wouldn't work out quite so well. Osse is a great fight. He's doing what he does best and messing up the shooter. Oh, and Osse missed a very quick kill. Nevdi? Yeah, Nevdi hit 29 right before hitting the door. So he didn't actually bonk on the door. That's kind of fun. Nevdi finds the E-tank that he was looking for, and has technically enough ammo to kill Riku. Not pleasant, but it is enough. I'm guessing we'll check left side super first. Just a missile. Really hoping to see a super there. And we'll be taking a save before. No. Yep, Nevdi saving, and we'll be going to fight Ridley. And all Osse needs to do is go back to Torian, which is in West Meridia, and he will be effectively done. Nice speedball from Nevdi. That was pretty tough on the ship is on. And Nevdi entering the Ridley fight. Does not have a whole lot of leeway for this. I believe he cannot miss a super, and he can miss 4 missiles. Oh, he missed a super. That's not good. Gonna need to lay a power bomb. Yeah, and I don't think Nevdi's gonna make this. Yeah, this is basically the reason that I would have ship refilled before going down here. But it's really easy to forget about things like that. I think Nevdi will be checking this item as well. Probably looking for charge. I don't think there's anything else that's useful for him at this point. Very connected here. Very wouldn't be that useful anyway. It would be good for a Ridley fight, but not for Mother Brain. Just finds an easy anchor. Resets out of it. Yeah, I think the seed went really well for Nevdi other than that charge being good. I think that charge is the only place that Osse checked that Nevdi didn't. Or the, X-ray room. Need to think about that for a second. I think that's right. Like, Osse checked Norfair a lot earlier than Nevdi did. But Nevdi did eventually get there, and he got there at a time when charge still would have been very good for him. Yeah, I've tried doing stuff like this that Nevdi's doing, and it is not fun to continuously, fight Ridley. Oh no, he missed his last super. Yeah, we know it doesn't matter, but you can see in Nevdi's face that he is not happy about this. I don't think there's gonna be anything other than more easy. Maybe. Oh, he's looking for miners. Okay. Yeah, up here you can get some miners. He gets another super pack, and it will be easy. But and there is another super pack up there. Osse will be going for stand-up. I think Nevdi will probably check under Osse too. Nope, looks like he won't. This should be good enough ammo for Ridley. Taking another save just to be super safe about this, but I don't think that he'll have any issues with Ridley at this point. 70 tanks, 2 reserves, almost completely full. And another green 3 down for us, as Nevdi takes attempt number 4, I think, at Ridley. This is 2 supers there. Gonna need, I think, 12 missiles total to make up for it. Should be fine though now. Oh no. Is Ridley not dead? No, Ridley was dead, but that is just super unfortunate for Nevdi. Gonna keep going though. Meanwhile, Osse is making his way up the climb. And with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 27 seconds, Osse has won. GG to Osse. We'll be taking a second to get ready for the next race. So we will see you guys back in just a little bit.